There are more than 100 new home developments in San Diego County. There also are about 10,000 resale homes on the market, with 600 to 700 new listings each week. That can make shopping for a house kind of like finding the proverbial needle in a haystack.
Price poses yet another problem. The average cost of a resale home here is more than $73,000, $22,000 higher than the national average. Only 3 other communities in the country are higher. Adding to the problem, over the past 5 years, home costs have risen more than twice as fast as personal income. With those figures in mind, we went to Jay Meetze, a former naval officer who, despite less than 10 years in the business, has become extremely successful in local real estate. Affiliated with Century 21, Meetze agreed to serve as our expert in this series. It should be pointed out that his assessments and philosophies may not be shared by all realtors.
There are 3 basic ways to shop for a home, and I would say the best way is to contact your local real estate broker, because there is such a varied array of homes throughout the county or in the city. You need some professional expertise to help you locate what you're looking for, and once you find it, to help you decide how to put all the details together. On the weekends, drive around and look at open houses. There are always a lot of houses open in all neighborhoods on Sundays and in some cases Saturdays, and they're open for your inspection, and there's an agent there to show you through the home, and you can look at your leisure. Of course, another way would be to read the classified ads and go look at listed homes with real estate brokers or for sale by owners.
Obviously, before you begin to look for a house, you have to know what you can afford. The basic rule of thumb, you could have trouble buying if the price of the home is more than 4 times your income. Other considerations are the neighborhood, distance to work, location of schools, and any special family requirements. If you need a drier climate for health reasons, for instance, the beach area isn't for you.
We have this home buyer's kit, which we find very useful. And, you know, one of the first things we mentioned before is finances. There are 21 ways to finance a home, and there are basically 3 ways. There's the GI Bill, and most everybody's familiar with it. Most of us are veterans, and a lot of the ladies are veterans, too. And then there's the FHA loans, and then there are conventional loans. And unless you are knowledgeable in the financial field, you need to talk to a salesman to find out, what kind of loan can I get? What am I eligible for? We make all the arrangements for the buyer. We bring the lender to you, usually, or take you to the lender. Point out the things that you need to do. Walk you right through the whole escrow. Usually bring all the papers to you. You don't have to seek out the bank or the escrow. Help you fill out the papers. Help you arrange the loan. And even when it's about ready to close, we give you advice and tell you who to call to turn on the electricity and the gas and remind you about the telephone and all sorts of little incidentals that you tend to forget in the excitement of buying a home.
In San Diego today, depending on the type of financing you qualify for, you can expect an interest rate generally between 9.5% and 10.5%. On conventional loans, the more you have for a down payment, the lower your interest rate will be. The Cal Vet program, for cases where the price of the house does not exceed $53,000 and where the buyer was a California resident when he entered the service, the current interest rate is 5.6%. But the state has no Cal Vet money available at this time.
Tomorrow, part 2 of our journal on home buying in San Diego, a look at general price ranges throughout the county. Dave Cohen, News 8.
Your best dollar value is going to be away from the beaches and away from the center city.
Jay Meetze, affiliated with Century 21 and our expert for this series, says you can find homes which are considered steals or real bargains. But these houses, generally referred to as fixer-uppers, are relatively few and far between. In most areas, neighborhood pride has forced owners to keep their homes well maintained.
The average price in the San Diego Board of Realtors as of June is $74,000. And of course the most popular home is still the 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car attached garage. And they'll average around 12 to 1,400 square feet in that 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. La Jolla, forget it. There's nothing in La Jolla for under No, under 125, and I think I could safely say under 150,000. Scripps Ranch, which is just adjacent to us here, the average price home in Scripps Ranch is $90,000 to $100,000. Mira Mesa, there are some homes in Mira Mesa for $55,000 on up to over $100,000. Well, after Mira Mesa, just going a little bit north is an area called Penasquitos, and there's a lot of new developments up there. It's a relatively new community, and the homes up there, the single-family homes will probably average around $75,000 and a little bit higher. Then we go on down south, we get into the South Bay area of Chula Vista, and of course Imperial Beach, Coronado. Forget Coronado, it's very expensive. It's a beautiful area, but it's very, very expensive over there. I have no idea what the average price is in Coronado. That's out of my neighborhood. Of course, Imperial Beach, I think in Imperial Beach, it would pretty closely resemble San Diego's average price, somewhere around $70,000, $75,000. Chula Vista, there are a lot of good buys in Chula Vista area. There's a lot of nice areas down there, and the average price in Chula Vista is a little less than in San Diego. I don't have the statistics, but I would say in the Chula Vista National City area, the price average would probably be about $60,000, $65,000.
Those are just some of the general price ranges around San Diego. They're not hard and fast. You might be able to find a few homes for less than the average quoted by Meetze. Again, though, in basic terms, you'll find better dollar value the farther inland you go and away from the center city.
If single-family home prices are preventing you from buying, you might want to consider a condominium or a townhouse. We'll explore the pros and cons of that option in our final report tomorrow. Dave Cohen, News 8. The average price of a single-family home in San Diego is $73,300. That's fourth highest in the nation, behind San Francisco, Oakland, Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Washington, D.C. Many people simply can't afford to buy a home here, but they might be able to afford a condominium or a townhouse.
There are a lot of condominiums in the San Diego area, and they're becoming more and more popular each and every day. There's a big demand for them, and they're developing quite a few.
Jay Meetze, head of his own Century 21 affiliated realty firm and our expert in this series, adds there are distinct advantages to buying a condo over a single-family home. Because you're not paying for the land, prices generally are lower, and you get more square footage for the dollar. Because of the recreational facilities associated with most condominium or townhouse complexes, and the fact that outdoor maintenance is provided, sometimes for a small fee, you'll usually find more time to pursue other interests. But you'll have less privacy than in a single-family home, and there's less appreciation of your investment, although Meetze notes that could change as more condos are built. Along similar lines are the relatively new planned unit developments or planned residential developments, which include some single-family units.
In the PUD or PRD, you have a single-family home on your own parcel of land, and then you own that, fee simple. And then we have a common interest in the green belt, or there may be staples or recreational facilities, for the PUD that you have a common interest or an undivided ownership in.
San Diego's housing market has seen little impact so far from Proposition 13, but Meetze does foresee less intercity movement because of Jarvis-Gann. If you sell your present house to buy another, that home will face a property tax reassessment, meaning higher taxes than the current owner is paying.
In the past, we've had a lot of movement within the city, young couples having babies and the families expanding. They need larger quarters or moving out of apartments into their first home. And on the other end of the spectrum, we've had couples whose children are out of school and flown the coop, so to speak, and they decide that they want to move into a condominium or a townhouse and play more golf and have more leisure time. Those people are going to think twice now, because sure, they may want to sell their house, but if they start looking at the tax structure change, I think they'll take a good hard look before they make a leap.
Do you see an end to the incredible appreciation of home values in the very near future?
I wish I could say yes, Dave, but I don't, because the basic law of economics, supply and demand, and we just have so much land. There's just so much we can't increase that, and the demand is there, so the price of land will continue to go up. And labor costs continue to rise along with other inflationary trends. Materials continue to go up in value. No, unfortunately, no, I don't see any decrease. I would love to see it level off where that the appreciation would stay between 5 and 10% a year instead of hitting up in 15 to 25 or 30% a year. That's ridiculous.
Obviously, this series has touched only on some of the key points of buying a house in San Diego. If you have any questions about what's available, whether you can afford to buy, and where, contact a realtor. He or she can help you, even if you're only casually shopping at this time. And, given home prices these days, the cost of this service is a real bargain. It's free. Dave Cohen, News 8.